Okay, little warming up first. Um, Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Today, what we're going to do, I want to work on Joe Morello's book, Master Studies 1, Table of Time, maybe a quick review of some of the Stone Killer, and accents, like so. Okay, so I'm going to warm up for about 2 minutes, and make yourself visible and say hello or whatever, and we'll get to the lesson. Any questions about a few lessons last week? If so, okay, I guess I'm loose enough. Alright, Table of Time. Joe Morello's Table of Time. It's not really his, I just say that because I reference from the book, Master Studies 1. That would be page 43 in Master Studies 1. What's the objective? Well, first what we're going to do with this, we're going to play in alternating strokes in all, for the first 3 lines, we're going to play no accents. The accents will become visible or pronounced on line 4. Now, this is not glamorous or doing linear concepts on a drum set or playing a pattern and working things out. This is about your timing. And, you know, for those who did not or ever have done this, the best thing to do is first understand what's going on line by line and try each one. Now, I'm going to demonstrate the first 4 lines without a metronome, and this is my approach. I look at the first line, and it's just 1 measure of quarter notes. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And all these strokes I'm going to make are going to be made high, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's just quarter notes. Everybody can play that. We go to line 2, and we have quarter note triplets. Now, as soon as I say that term, quarter note triplets, everybody gets uptight and I never played them. How do they work? So on and so forth. Well, if you're playing in the band and you played a couple tunes, you probably have played quarter note triplets. But what I'm doing now is breaking down the math of a quarter note triplet. It's inside of the measure of 4/4. If you're playing quarter note triplets, what that is 6 notes to the pulse. So I'm going to count in an 8th note triplet formation. I'm going to count 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. So if you look at the page, if you have the page in front of you, or if you don't have the page, email me and I will send you up to groupings of 6 at least, a PDF. So what we have now is quarter note triplets. And let's do the math. A quarter note equals 2 8th notes. If I'm counting 8th note triplets, that would take up the space of 1 and. 1 and, now at least the, 2 more 8th notes, and the, 3 and the, 4 and the. Here we go. 1 and the, 2 and the, 3 and the, 4 and the, 1 and the, 2, 3. So now, that takes care of the 2 lines. Go to the 3rd line, it's one measure of 8th notes as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, so now that's the 4th line is 8th note triplets. That's going to be 1 and the 2 and. Sorry, 3 and the 4 and the. Now I play around with them. If you have not done this before, take each line, like I said, separately, and then challenge it once you understand it. You can put the metronome on, let's say 60. That would be my pulse. Let's go to 60. Now, I put it on 60. That's going to be my pulse. Quarter note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch the first line. 4 quarter notes to the measure. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Easy. I go to the 2nd line. I'm going to play quarter note triplets. So I'm going to be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here we go. 1 and boom, jinky dang. 1 and 2. And I go to the line 3, 8th notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the object here is to space them equally between the downbeats. One more line, the 8th note triplet. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and boom. So now once you get accustomed to that, I won't hit line 4, the 5th line yet. I'm going to play from the first line, the quarter notes, the quarter note triplets, the 8th notes, and the 8th note triplets. And you have to watch the timing. That's the object here, is to make the change. The feel is going to change. The notation, the pulse is the same, but inside of the pulse, the notation is going to change. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I'll do it twice. 1, 2. I'm going to go to the 2nd line, the quarter note triplets. 1 and 2 and 3. Next line, 8th notes. Again. And 8th note triplets. Okay, now, there's a lot of people here, but I don't see nobody in the chat. Say hello. Hello, hello, hello. My phone is ringing. Hold on, let me just check it out. I do hate that. That's all telemarketing. Somebody should say hello, man. Oh, hello, Igor. How are you, sir? Okay, well, I just did the first 4 lines. Do you have the Master Studies book, Mr. Igor? Do you have that? What I intend to do this evening, see, I have 2 platforms. Hi, Kelly. What I do during the day, Monday. Alright, what I'll do, let me give you my email address, Igor. Email me, and later on, sometime today, I'll send you at least that page up to groupings of 6. You know, I can't give you the whole page because that's a copyright infringement. So I'll give you something. So let me give you my email. There you go. That's my email. So email me and I'll send it to you. Alright, what I'm going to do this evening, I'm demonstrating this on a drum pad on one surface. But I'm going to take a few of these lines, like 4 lines at a time, and play them on the drum set all at one time. Alright, well that's a good book, and I have some great ways to read that. So, you know, if you want to come to my site tonight, it's going to be free until January or maybe even February. Here's the site. Okay, I have the book also, the Louis Bellson Reading Text in 4/4. I also have a few of my own publications, but that's fine. It's a great book. I use it. I teach out of it, and what we do is I have not an unusual way to read. I mean, it is on one surface, 1, 2, and 3, whatever it might be. Okay, but the way I do a drum set application. A lot of different ways to develop 4-way coordination. Okay, so email me, I'll send you the sheet. Okay, and I'll put you on my mailing list as well. If you're doing nothing this evening, my lesson is at 8:30 on Mondays. On Tuesdays and Wednesdays it's 8 p.m. That's a live online lesson site where I can do a drum set application. So what I take here on one surface during the afternoon, in the evening I put on the drum set as a drum set application. So if you're interested, it's free. That's the magic word for everybody, free. Come on, hang out, say hello. Now, Mr. Igor, were you here last week, 1 day or 2 days or whatever, or is this your first time here? Well, let me get to the lesson and we'll talk a little bit. So far we did quarter notes, quarter note triplets, eighth notes, and 16th notes. I mean, eighth note triplets. Now we're going to do the 16th notes. That's 4 notes. Okay, I'm sorry. I get so many people coming in and out. Alright, so we're going to do the 16th notes. That means we're going to have 4 notes equalized in between the downbeat. That's the downbeat. That's 60. So we have, that's 1, 2. I'm just going to play the group into 4. 1E and 2E and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So now I'm going to take it from the top, and I'm going to play down to the 16ths, and then we'll hit the grouping of 4, 5, and 6. Here's the quarter note. 1, 2, 3, line 1, 4, line 1 again, twice. Second line. 1 and the 2 and the 3. I'm sorry. I'm not concentrating. I apologize. Let me do that again. I'm going to play each line twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Second line. Triplets. Twice we're doing it. 16ths. One more time. Now, practicing is a personal kind of thing. You practice the way you want. And, you know, you want to spend a lot of time on just one line. If it's giving you discomfort or, you know, you're having a problem with it, work it out. But I like to, you know, I've been doing this forever. I'm going to put the tempo up a little bit to 72. Okay. That takes care of the groupings of 4. Now, we're going to go to the groupings of 5. Now, what that is called, like you have a 3, you call that a triplet. Actually, a 4 is quintuplet. This is, you know, that's not a quintuplet. Quintuplet is the grouping of 5. It should be quartuplet, but that's not used. They don't use that. So we're going to do a quintuplet, which is a grouping of 5 in between the downbeat. That means I have to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The accent is my downbeat. Okay, let me put that to the metronome. That's a little faster. 1. I'll do the grouping of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's 5 strokes. I could use any kind of sticking pattern that I would like. How you doing, Mike? I could use any sticking pattern I would like. Doubles, any line from the stick control book I can use. But first, if this is brand new territory, just use alternate strokes. Now, we're going to go to 6s. That's called sextuplets. That means there's going to be 6 notes, or 6 strokes, equalized in between the downbeat. So, there's a couple different ways you can count this. You can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is a whole lot of count. I don't feel uncomfortable with that. Or you count 2 groups of triplet. 1 and a, 2 and a, 1 and a, 2 and a, without an accent. Or you can count, as I count this, I feel comfortable with, I refer to 3/8 as 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. So whatever works for you. Hey, how you doing, Dave? I'm a big fan of all drummers, except arrogance and ego. Huh. Okay, so I'm going to do now line 1, which is quarter notes, line 2, the quarter note triplets, line 3, just straight 8th notes, line 4, 8th note triplets, line 5, a grouping of 4, line 6, quintuplets, line 6, 7, sextuplets. And I'm going to do these at 72. So, I'm going to do each line maybe twice. I'm going to need to concentrate. I can't be talking while I do this, so try to follow me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Eighth notes. Triplets. Accent. One more time. 16th. One more time. 5s. Now, that is the end result, okay, of practicing over and over again and being consistent with your practicing. Now, you might look at this, well, what does that have to do with Led Zeppelin? Or what does that have to do with Herbie Hancock or Sting or whoever you listen to? Well, it has everything to do with them. It's your function, it's music, you keep in time. Whether you pronounce time, or you're on top of time, or underneath the head, or behind. Now, there's from line to line, there's a different feel. This is not about how fast you can play this, but it's how solid you can make it. Now, I'm going to stop at the 6s. The 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s are pretty cool. The 7s, well, if you heard this before, yeah, everything is alternating, Mike, so far. I mean, I do this in doubles, and I'll do it in paradiddles as well. And that changes the whole thing. But first, before you could go that route, just do them in alternate strokes. It's a workout at 72. And you can count, or you can hum, or whatever works for you, line by line. Like I was telling everybody before you came here, Mike, the 5s and 6s are alternating. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1. 6s. See that? They're alternating. Okay, now, what I've told everybody so far, my site is opened from now until maybe sometime in January. It's free. You have the address. Come and see me tonight at 8:30. What I will be doing, instead of playing this on one surface, I'm going to be playing this on the drum set. I might do, like say, line 1 with the bass drum, line 3 with the hi-hat, line 4 the triplets with my left hand on the snare, and line the 16th notes with my right hand on the floor tom-tom. So I'm going to be playing them all at one time. And there's all different kinds of combinations. Igor, you should come tonight, and I'll show you a really nice way that's going to help you develop your reading. You know, it's like when you do reading, like everybody else has done or learned how to read, they have a book, they start at page 1, and they get to whatever the last page, jacket to jacket, cover to cover, and they close it, and they go next. And that's pretty shallow. And a friend of mine who did a live show, he's not a heavy metal drummer, he's a mainstream rock drummer. I think he's playing with Lita Ford right now. He came and did a show, and we talked about this concept, and I loved it. He showed me how he did it, and I expanded on it. So come on over, man. It's fun, and it's free. So now, is there any questions about last week before I go to something new? Are there any questions in reference to like the Stone Killer or things that we've done last week? Oh, in addition to the table of time tonight, I am going to be working on a few linear concepts from the stick control book. Okay? So one more time I'll ask, any questions? We're trying to, understand the transition of single hand quarter notes, eighth notes, and 16th notes, accented and unaccented. Okay, we'll go over that in a minute. Okay? First off, let me address that question before I go on to the accent page that I was going to work on. First off, we all understand sticking positions: the full stroke, the half stroke, and the quarter stroke. Now, I've done a series of these videos. They're on my channel. The level system, and if you understand, that's the sticking positions. Okay? Full stroke, half stroke, and quarter stroke. Now, if I start from the full stroke and come back to the full stroke, I'm going to produce a pretty dominant sound. as an accent. If I take that same note and take it from here, it's going to be a lesser sound because the distance is less. This is a very soft sound from here. So I have the full stroke, and then the half stroke, and then the quarter stroke. Same, it's stroking positions, but what that is giving me different volumes because my distance is great here, less here, and very less here. So you have three things. Now there's a whole spectrum inside of that. I'm just giving the basic concept. Now if I want to play eighth notes like so, is this what you want to address, Dave? If I'm playing eighth notes like so, and do you have the sheets number one, Dave, on the accents that I've taken from Stick Control book, or the Joe Morello's Master Studies 2, his warm-up exercise? Do you have that? So if I'm playing just eighth notes, I'm counting to myself, or out loud if I like, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now I'm coming down from the same height. That's because theoretically, scientifically, the laws of physics should give me one equal sound. Now, if I'm counting, I'm going to keep in order 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's say I want to accent the counts of 1, 2, 3, 4. So something has to change in the sticky nights. I have to start here as 1. And it's going to be from this point of the drum, but I have to come back up to get in position to hit the accent again. Two sounds, an accent and an unaccent. Dave, email me, I'll send you the sheets. My email's in the chat here someplace. So now, I have two sounds, accent, non-accent. If I hit that as an accent, come down here, I hit the accent, and I just want to get in position again for an additional accent without missing a note, it's an upstroke. So if I played eighth notes and accented 1, 2, 3, 4, we'd have 1 and 2 and 3 and now 1. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Now I'm exaggerating the whole thing because this is an instructional platform and I'm showing you what's occurring. But when I'm playing, I don't think of downstroke, upstroke, because it's very natural. And that's what's occurring when you're playing accents. So I'm playing, all right, now, eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm accenting 1, 2, 3, 4. If I want to do triplets, no accent. Eighth note triplets. 1 and 2 and now I'm going to accent 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Let me break that down. I'm starting here. 1 gives me the accent. And is a tap, and I come back in position to hit the accent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now that's all in Stone Killer. Okay, not a problem. Just email me. I'll send it to you. Okay? I hope I helped you out somewhat. Now, what I want to do, hold on, gentlemen. Usually, when I'm doing a lesson, my wife is out there and she answers the phone. So I apologize. I need to take the calls. Okay, what I want to do now is go to page 49 in Master Studies 1. Do we all have that, gentlemen? I did make an announcement on 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. Yes, come on over, no problem. I did make an announcement on Facebook. If if gentlemen are friends on Facebook, the books that you would need if you're going to frequent this. This is going to go on and on and on and on. I'm not going to stop doing the one surface because I take the one surface to the drum set in the evening. Okay. All right, I'll send you, Mike, email me, I'll send you the sheet. What's that? Yeah, okay. Now, I said I made an announcement, and for those who are not on Facebook, the books you're going to need, obviously, is the stick control book, the syncopation book, Master Studies 1 and Master Studies 2 for the one surface. So, if you're going to come Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or whenever you can, have the book. You'll benefit by it. Okay, now, all this is, if you have the stick control book, I believe it's page 10. I think. Page 10 is short roll combinations in the stick control book. Okay? And all that is, I believe it's page 10. Hold on. I don't want to misguide anybody here. Hey, Boonga. Alright. I think it's page 10. We have 4/8 notes. Hey, Dave. How you doing? Glad that you could make it, man. Alright. We're playing 8th notes. 1 and 2 and. Then on the count of 3, 4, we're playing 16th notes. So we have 1 and 2 and 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. That's in the stick control book. Now we're going to use that for the next 8 exercises. But we're going to put accents. And we're going to shift the accents. We're going to permutate the accents. Does everybody understand what the term permutate means? Or in this case, you can call it sort of a grid. I'd rather call it permutate. Permutate means to move over 1. So if I'm playing a grouping of 16th notes, 1 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, without accents, and I want to play the accent on the first downbeat on the count of 1, on the second downbeat on the E, on the third downbeat the and on the fourth downbeat the. So I'm going to have 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. We got that together? You understand that, or you want me to slow that guy down? Any questions on that? Because now we're taking what's in stick control book, the short roll combinations, and we're going to accent the grouping of 16th notes. So the first one, I'm counting 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and I'm going to accent. You're from Chile, Pablo? All right. Hello in Chile. It's nighttime down there now, correct? So I'm taking that short roll combination. 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and I'm going to accent now on the count of 3. 1 E 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and a little faster. Okay, now, that takes care of the one guy. The next measure, like I said, permutate, or if you want to call it the grid, it's up to you. I'd rather use, in this particular case, the permutate. So now, I just played the accent on the count of 3. So if I permutate the accent, on this one, it's going to be, the accent's going to be on the E of 3. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and 2 and 3 E and 4 E and So now I just accented. All right, I'll see you tonight, Mike. Well, I don't know what that means there, Pablo. Okay. I moved the accent to the E of 3. We're going to go to the next one. It's going to be on the and of 3. So I have 1 and 2 and 3 E and the 4 E and the 1. 2 and 3 E and the 4 E and the. Notice my hands are all at the same height. But I get myself in position to nail the accent effortlessly. Okay, so now that takes care of the 1. The E, the line 1, which is on the accent, was on the 3. The next line, it was on the E of 3. Next line, the and of 3. The next line was the duh of 3. And we go to the next one. We're going to permutate still. The accent's going to be on 4. 1 and 2 and 3 E and the 4 E and the 1. 2. 3 E and the 4 E and the. So on and so forth. Do we all understand that? Yeah. You can come to my lesson tonight. I don't know if you can get that. It's free. It's a drum set application. On this particular site, the only thing I do is a one surface drum pad application. What I do here in the daytime, in the evening, I do a drum set application. Do you have... let me put my... again. Now that's my site in the evening. That's .com. I got it comedy. I apologize. Alright, that's going to be free until sometime in January. And like I said, what I do here on one surface, I will do a drum set application. Now, I did mention books you should have if you're going to frequent this site. Oh, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. That's the stick control book, the syncopation book, Joe Morello's Master Studies 1, Master Studies 2. So like if you're going to come here every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, have the book. If not, email me. I will put you on my mailing list and I will send you some sheets pertaining to the lesson. Okay, we got that? You have my email, right, Pablo? Yes? No? Okay, that was a good one. I'll show you that one in a little while. Oh. What's variations? What are you talking about? David, be more specific. Variations. There's a book entitled Variations of Drumming. It's out of print now. It was done by Ralph C. Pace. And that book really put me on the map for reading. His son is still alive, Ralph C. Pace Jr., who's revising the edition. And yeah, that's it. That's the orange book. I see other guys don't know what you're talking about, Dave. You and I do. Okay? Yeah, there's a lot in there, and it really will teach you how to read. Ralph C. Pace Jr. was here in the studio. He lives in Tennessee, I think, and he has relatives in Brooklyn or someplace in White Plains, rather, New York. And he stopped by a couple times. Great guy, man. Really good drummer, too. And I do have a few books with him on the cover when he was about 10, 11 years old. Makes me look old. Well, I am old. Okay. Pablo, you have the stick control book. Good. You want to try to get... Let me show you this one. You should have this. The syncopation book. See it? But there's a big delay here. This is going to be videoed as soon as the lesson's over. That's the syncopation book. The stick control book, the Bible. Now, I don't have handy Master Studies 2. This is Master Studies 1. I do a lot of work out here. And Master Studies 2. Great books. Joe Morello's the master of hand technique. Alright, it's time for me to vacate the presence. The presence. No, I didn't. Well, you got to be more specific, Dave. No, I did not videotape it. He did not give. We didn't do a live stream. We were sitting here and we were working on some technique. The one on my practice bit. That's the drum. Which one do you have? The syncopation book. Well, you want to get them and stick control. All right. Well, actually, if you get on my mailing list, I do a lot of formulas and a lot of referencing from stick control book. What you should do though is come this evening at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. If it's 8:30 here, what time is it in Chile? Pablo? It's like I said, I'm only allotted so much time here. It's what time would it be in Chile if it's 8:30 in the evening here? Was that 3:45 in the morning? Oh, stay up. I used to video the lessons. I'm not doing that no more because it's like this. I do too much talking. But right now, gentlemen, what I'm going to have to do is close this down, and I will be back on my other site. Everybody should have the address at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want PDF sheets, you have my email. Email me, tell me what you want, and I'll send them to you. And Dave Fronikowski, thank you. I will talk later on tonight, okay? And when you have a question or you're going to make a statement, please try to be more specific. Okay. No problem. Your working place. What do you do, Pablo? I'm going to tell your boss. You're supposed to be working. Huh. Just kidding. What do you do? Okay. I need to close it down, gentlemen. I will be back on this site tomorrow afternoon, 1 p.m. Any questions? I'll see you later, Pablo. Have a good night. Get your questions together and ask me tomorrow. Take care.